Hey, what's going on? All right, so these are the more power to you notes. So what I need you to do, the first thing you need to do is put the word exponents up on top of here. Exponents, okay? And then I want you to put a number one up there, number one, okay? And then I want you to put today's date, which is going to be August the 27th, 2013. Okay, that way we know that that's the date it is. It's going to fall into the exponents category, which we're going to get our content guide here tomorrow, and this is number one. Okay, so hopefully you've watched the Brain Pop video, and that gives you kind of a little insight of what we're going to be looking at here. And we'll go through our notes, and we're going to have a little practice for you guys to work on. So the first thing here we want you to know is exponents. They're shorthand for multiplication. So we're not going to do any addition. We're not going to do any division. We're not going to do any subtraction. It's just going to be multiplication. And another word for multiplication is the word times. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a little bit of timesing here. Okay? So what I need for you guys to do now, if you haven't done it already, is hit pause and raise your hand and ask Mr. Overman for some colored pencils. That's what you need to do now. Hit pause. Ask for some colored pencils because we're doing some color coding that will help out. Okay? Okay, now we're back, and this is what we're going to look at here. We're going to look at filling in this part with our colored pencils to help us out. Okay, so here comes our first part that we have. We have this part that says right here, it says a number that's being multiplied is called the base. Thinking, man, that's pretty simple. It's called the base. That's the number that's being multiplied. Okay? And what happens is, we have this little thing that's called the exponent. It tells us how many times the base is being multiplied. So it says the exponent tells us how many times the base is being multiplied, because the number that's being multiplied is the base. Well, what is the base? What's the exponent? Let's use our colored pencils to help us out. Okay, so wherever I have the word base, and remember, if I'm going too fast, hit the pause button to help you out. I'm going to color this in green. So when I see the word base, it gets green. Okay, because I'm going to color what the bases are in green. I'm going to color the word exponent in blue, because everywhere I see the word exponent, or I'm going to color in blue, because I'm going to color the exponents in blue to help me realize what those are. So here we go. So the bases, because I'm going to use my green, are these big numbers to 5. And this 5 right here. That's my exponent. My base, Bases are in green. Because what this is I'm taking 5 and multiplying it twice. Because 5 is being multiplied. See that? 5 times 5. I'm multiplying 5. 5 to the third power is 5 is being multiplied, so that's my base. My next thing is I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to color in the little numbers above there, like this little 3 and this little 2, because those are my exponents. Those tell me how many times I'm going to multiply that 5, and how many times I'm going to multiply that 5 over here. So here I had a 3, so that's why I multiplied it 3 times. I had a 2 here, that's why I multiplied it twice. Okay, so that's what my exponent tells me to do, and those are in blue. So now I know what my base is, the big number, and I know that my exponent is the small number on top. Okay? Now, it's called something when I use these exponents. It says the process of using the exponents in the bases is called exponential form. It's a big, long word, which we will probably be calling this for a while. So exponential form. And where the exponent and the base is called the power. Okay? So if I have the whole thing together, I'm going to call it the power. Okay? If I have the exponential form, the whole thing is called the power. Okay? I raise it to a power. I've got a power. 5 raised to the third power. Okay? I've got everything that I've got. So I've got my power there. Alright? So let's move down here with my colored pencils and see what I can do. So I'm going to be looking at this big thing right here, 5 to the third power. So let's read on and see what it says. It says, when we see 5 to the third power, or 5 raised to the third exponent, we say 5 is the base, and 3 is the exponent. Okay? Or we might actually call it the power. Okay? So let's use my color-coded pencils here and let's see what we've got. So the base was green. So my base is going to be the 5, which I'm going to color in here. Okay. And my exponent, which we also call the power, so I'm going to cover the power there, my exponent here, and the power here. We're going to call it right there. I'm going to color in that word power up there too. So wherever I have this is called your exponent or your power, and this is your base. So we say the big number is 5, in the exponent, which is 3, or we call it the power. So we call this 5 raised to the 3rd power. Okay? So green is going to be my base. My blue is going to be my exponent. Now you can pick your own colors from that. That's fine by me, but that's what we have right there. Okay? So that just kind of gives you the vocabulary that we'll be working with in this video. Let's flip over to the next page. And you've got some work here that we're going to look at. And what I want you to do before we go here is I want you just to go ahead and make some little changes here. And where we have the word simplify, okay, where we have the word simplify is I want to write in the word exponential, if I can spell it right, form. That goes in there. That's for a simplified form. Okay? So these are exponential form. This is our expanded form. Okay? This is our expanded form. This is going to be our answer, which we're going to call standard form. Okay? So I'm going to call this my exponential form. Please write that in. Expanded form, it's already in there, and standard form. Okay? Alright. Now before we move on, I want to take my yellow and I'm going to color in the exponential form as yellow. So I know that exponential form is yellow. Okay? I'm going to now take my red pen here and I'm going to color in, I know that this is expanded form. Alright? And then I'm going to take a blue here, if I can, a blue, and make that into standard form here. So get that standard form. Alright? So now I've got my exponential form in yellow, my red is in standard form, and my red is expanded form, and my blue is standard form. Okay? So what I want to do first is, before we get started, I want to look up here and it says this. These are some rules we need to remember. If anything's raised to the 0th power, the answer is 1. Okay? An example of that would be if I have 5 raised to the 0th power, the answer is 1. See the 0? If I have negative 17 raised to the 0th power, the answer is 1. Okay? If I've got the answer 521 raised to the 0th power, the answer is 1. So anything raised to the 0th power is 1. Okay? Any number with the power or the exponent of 1 is itself. An example, 17 raised to the 1st power is 17. 5 raised to the 1st power is 5. Negative 62 raised to the 1st power is negative 62. It's just itself again. Okay? Rule number 3 says the exponent or power, okay, so we can underline that, exponent or power, is how many times we multiply the number by itself. So the little number on top tells me how many times I'm going to multiply the base by itself. And then number 4 says that if I have anything with the power of 10, I'm just going to write anything to do with the power of 10. For instance, 10 to the third power, I just put 1 followed by 3 zeros. Okay, or you just do multiply it out. I would just do that, so trying to remember that. Okay, so let's look at this first. First thing what I want to do is identify the base and the power. Okay, identify the base and the power. Okay, so that's what I want to do first, because the base is going to help me put it in. If I know the base, it's going to help me write it in expanded form, and if I know the power, it helps me do what I need to do. Okay, so the first thing is here. I'm going to find the base, and the base I'm going to color in green. So my base here is 4. I'm going to write out to the side. The base is going to be in green. Where's base? B-A-S-E. You can see it. Oh, I should have put that there. I put B-A-S-E and I colored it green because I know my base is 4. Okay? I'm going to put the word power, and I'm going to color it in blue as well. So I know the power is blue. There he is. So this is 4 raised to the 0 power. When I expand that out, I put it in expanded form. Okay? I don't need to put anything down because 4 to the 0th power is 1. And in standard form, it is 1. Okay? That's my answer. Okay? Let's go to the other one. 8. So 8 is my base. My power, or my exponent, is 1. Okay? Write it in expanded form. Well, I'm going to multiply 8, but how many times? Just 1 time. So I'm just going to put 1/8. And that answer in standard form is simply 8 as well. Okay? Now, it's not always going to be like that. Okay? But we have to be thoughtful of what we're going to be looking at. Okay? So here we go. Look at the next one. 2 raised to the 7th power. Well, 2 is my base, so I'm going to color him in green. He's raised to the 7th power. So that means I'm going to take 2 and I'm going to multiply it 7 times. It's not 2 times 7. It's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I'm going to take 2 times 2 times 2, 2. I'm going to write it out 7 times. That's it. That's it expanded. That's it in expanded form. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 7 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm just going to take my calculator and I can type in here 2, and I want to raise it to the 7th power. So I'm going to hit this little caret button right here. So I'll show it to you again. 2 raised to the 7th power, and it says 128. If you can't remember how to do it raised to the thing, to the 7th power, you can always do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it'll give you the same answer, 128. Okay? Let's go to the next one. 9 to the 2nd power. Well, I'm going to color in the 9 because it's my base, green. And I'm going to color in the power, 2. Because it's the power of 2. So that tells me I'm going to take 9 and multiply it by itself twice. So I have 9, and the power tells me I've got 2 of them, so it's 9 times 9. And 9 times 9 is 81. You check it on your calculator. 9 squared is 81. Or 9 times 9 is 81. Same thing. Okay. My next one is 10, so I'm going to color in 10 as my base. This is my exponent. It's 2. So it tells me I'm going to take 10, and how many 10s am I have? I have 2 of them, because my exponent is 2. So I'm going to multiply 10 times 10, which is 10 squared. And 10 times 10 is 100. And you can check it on your calculator. 10 squared is 100, or 10 times 10 is 100. Okay? I'll give you another one. Let's do these. 5 to the 3rd. Let's do 3 to the 3rd. And let's do negative 3 to the 3rd. Negative 6 to the 4th power. Okay? Either way it works. So here's what I've got. I'm going to color in my bases. Here are my bases. So my base is 5. And how many 5s am I going to have? 3 of them. So I'm going to multiply it 3 times. So that's 5 times 5 times 5 in expanded form. So 5 times 5 times 5, or 5 to the third power, is 125. Or you can see, or do 5 times 5 times 5, 125. Okay? 3 here is my base because it's in green, and how many negative 3s will I have? I need 3 of them. So it's going to be negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. When I put that in my calculator here, negative 3 raised to the third power, I get negative 27, or negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 gives me negative 27. Okay? And then my last one here is my negative 6 is its base. My exponent is 4. So I need 4 negative 6s. And I'm going to multiply those. Because remember, exponents always deal with multiplication. So that's what it is in expanded form. That's what I expanded it out. So when I multiply that out, I'm going to get negative 6 raised to the 4th power, which should give me, which should be negative 6 raised to the 4th power, which is 1,296. 1,296. That should be a positive. Negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6. 1,296. You got to put it in parentheses in your calculator. Okay? Well, that's how you do those. So this is going to be exponential form, when you have the base and the power. Expanded form is when you expand it out. And standard form is just when you write it out as a number. Okay? So revert back to this form, because what we're going to do is I'm going to give you these to answer. Okay? And what I'm going to do is you could rip this off. You can have these 2 sheets here and take your colored pencil, because look, this is saying what is the exponential form. So I'm going to highlight that one in yellow. So that way I know when I solve that problem, I know that the answer is going to look like this, because look, exponential form I put in yellow. So it's going to have a power and a base and a power. So I'm going to try to find something that looks like that. Number 2 says exponential form. So I'm going to highlight that in yellow too. Okay? Number 3 said expanded form. So I want to know the expanded form of 5 to the third power. So I'm going to highlight that in red. And then the last one here says, what is the standard form? So that's in blue. So I want to know the standard form of that. Okay? I want to know the standard form of that. Okay? So you got to be able to figure that out and how that goes, how you move through there to find those answers. So when you follow with those, you can put your paper back together, and then you can put them in your notes section so we can look at them again tomorrow. And after you finish this video and that work, go ahead and you will be getting your RTI folder, RTI workout that Mr. Oberman will give to you. Thank you.